If you guys need any cards, packs, sleeves, anything of that nature, shop on TCG Player using my affiliate link in the description. What's good, YouTube? Today we're going to be playing an idea inspired by something I saw in one of Keegan's videos, which is actually his opponent was playing this really cool list that was using Recurring Nightmare with Orichalcos Shuneros. Now, for those of you who don't know, Recurring Nightmare is basically a sort of salvage, but it's for dark monsters with 0 defense. So there are a couple neat things you can do with this, and this was actually one that I hadn't considered. I've messed around with the card a bit in the past, done a couple of videos on it, but of course you can bring back Orichalcos Shuneros, which is a card we've actually played before on the channel in the Montage Dragon deck that Zuxid came up with. So not a completely unknown out there factor. It is like a thing you can use to revive Fortress. So basically you just like add it back and have fodder for the reborn on Fortress, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, you have some of the other more standard Recurring Nightmare cards like Level Eater, Battle Fader, and Sphere of Chaos. Since this is a quick draw build, Sphere is also another machine for the Machina package. We're playing the full, well, not really the full Machina package, actually, pretty minimal Machina package. 3 and 3 of the good ones, and then 1 Force, just in case you need to get the 1 Force, I think. Probably fine to have this guy. We are playing triple Quick Draw. Quick Draw is a card that I've utilized with Recurring Nightmare a lot in the past because it's just like a way to capitalize on the hand fodder that's like in engine and isn't Phoenix Wing or some weird thing like that. And then we of course have triple Raikou, Charge, and Card Trooper just to fill up your graveyard with Recurring Nightmare targets so you can get that +1. And Dandy, gotta have it. Sangan, gotta have it. Dad, Dragodia, Gores, etc. Just some staple spell trap cards and the 3 Recurring Nightmares. So that's the build that we're going to be playing with today. I do want to preface this, though. I think I am cooking another build that might be even better. Since I know it's weird to tease that at the beginning of the video. This is the build that I played today, but I have one that I'm going to probably play maybe tomorrow that I think is even crazier. Well, tomorrow actually... tomorrow is going to be the 3rd, or is it the 4th World Championship qualifier for Edison Format and Format Library. And I'm going to be streaming that. So maybe that actually won't go up tomorrow. Maybe it'll go up on Sunday, but it's coming soon. So look forward to that. But we're going to be looking at some replays that I played with this build. So first one is up against, I think this was, I don't know what this deck is called, like Chaos Dragon, Dark Dragon, but not the Norlaris version. It's like the build that topped RBET Orlando, I think it did. And there was a build that played like Raikou, Triple Charge, all the dragon stuff. So kind of like fits his build, but then it played a bunch of dark cards like Plague and Dad and I think Caius, Spirit Reaper, stuff like that. Gore's Trag maybe as well. So it was a very cool version of the list. Anyway, we open up Quick Draw Dandy, which pretty good. However, our opponent opens up Dust Shoot Compulse. So I guess I should have Prio MST'd here. I mean, if I Prio MST'd and hit the Compulse, I would have just... oh, that would have been pretty good, right? Well, actually, wouldn't we have added back a card with Drill? I might have still been at 4 cards in hand, actually. Let me think about that. I don't know. I don't want to look back and see, but yeah, we would have still been at 4 cards in hand. I do believe. So maybe if we'd Prio MST hit either one is pretty good there, actually. Or Chain MST to Dust Shoot, also pretty good. But I just held it and got completely owned by Dust Shoot and putting back my Drill Warrior. So here we kind of just gotta, like, chill. Now we have a very potentially good play, which is if we can drop Tragodia, we can pitch our level 10 Orichalcos Shuneros to steal Red Med, which we are going to go for here. We take all the damage, and that's, yeah. They like, just forgot or didn't think about this or something, because I think they saw this card in my hand with the Trap Dust Shoot. But we can pitch it with the Trag to steal the Red Med. Obviously, they should have just Vortexed and killed my guy in main 2 there. So a little bit of a mistake on the opponent's part, letting me do this in the first place. I guess they figure I commit to the cards to it, and then they can just Vortex it anyway, put their guy back in the grave, kill my Tragodia, and then revive their own Red Med with the Red Eyes Wyvern, which isn't that bad. Still, letting it happen in the first place isn't great, because it's like a +1 for me. So we go end phase Typhoon. I think, yeah, at this point I'm just like, screw it. I just want to Typhoon it, because if that back row is Solemn Judgment, it would be really bad, right? So we flip the Raikou. We hit a Fortress, which is so good because now we Recurring Nightmare, add back double Orichalcos Shuneros, and we can just pitch the Orichalcos Shuneros, bring back the Machina Fortress, and suddenly we're getting in there for some damage. Opponent dropped a Tragodia. That's fine. We actually played around it. So it's just like a puny Trag. We beat over the Trag. They're drawing just like trap cards that aren't particularly useful in this current situation. They draw Brain. Was there not anything they could do here? Wow. Yeah, they just like have to stack for Plague and pass. So we're going to bring out a Quick Draw Synchron. Obviously, in Edison Format, there's a stupid ruling where starts a chain in the hand. So essentially, this means you can't Judgment Quick Draw because it's like it's not an inherent summon. It starts a chain. So I just pretend like I didn't see the Judgment, and I go into Drill, and then the Drill leads to the Judgment. So then we revive the other Fortress. It gets bottomless, so we hit over this, but there's nothing they can do at this point. We're going to game number 2. Game number 2, they're going to start, of course, and we have a hand that is like sort of okay-ish, and then we draw Dandy, which is really good, but then they does shoot me again. God. So I figure we have to go in with Fortress, hope it's like a Raikou or a Snowman. It is Snowman. Snowman hilariously has to pop Fortress here, because it can't pop itself since it's marked for destruction, and it is a mandatory effect. So I just get to rip from the hand. I think a lot about this, and I think any one of these 3 choices is actually just like a pretty good one to get rid of. I end up getting rid of Debris. I don't know if that was right or not. Maybe it should have been Reaper. Maybe it should have been Red Med. I think every rip, as I mentioned, was pretty good. There was no real like terrible answer there. Maybe just Reaper so I don't get stalled out. But we have this Brain Control here. And we had the Raikou as well. So I was thinking if they just set Reaper, we just Raikou it. Maybe it's just Red Med to like put off the threat of getting Red Medded maybe. Anyway, they draw into Gores, which is really good. It's pretty good. We don't have a great answer. Here we're going to go for Crash into the... Or we could go for Crash into the token, but if it's some kind of, I don't know, Deprison... I don't think this deck actually plays Deprison, but I decided to err on the side of caution and go for the Brain Control, but they have the Solemn Judgment to stop it. So at that point, we're like, okay, summon the Sphere of Chaos, search the Electric Virus that we hilariously sided in. Then we bring out the Level Eater, Crash, use the effect to go +1 there, out the Gores and the token, hit in with Sphere, and now we've got a Spirit Reaper problem, right? We can't get around this card. They go set the Card Trooper, we bring out the Machina Gear Frame. We're not playing around Mirror Torrential because Mirror's gone, and if they have Torrential, well, that outs the Reaper for us, so, you know, that's pretty nice. And we're just going to be passing. They finally bring out Red Med, and they make a really weird play where they Dust Tornado the Gear Frame. I'm thinking maybe they were planning on Black Rosing in main 2, but then they just didn't. So now we go bring out this Fortress, steal the Debris with the Electric Virus, double Crash the Machina Fortresses so we can get around the Spirit Reaper and the Red Med and swing in direct for a game with the Sphere of Chaos. So we managed to finally get around that annoying Walling Reaper and end the game. Next match. These next 2 are a little bit weird. We're up against like 6 Sams and Morphtronics or something. So yeah, we're going first here. I think for a while I decided to just summon the Card Trooper and mill 3, try and fill up that grave for Recurring Nightmare potentially. Or if I hit a Fortress, the Shuneros is going to be live. They activate Reasoning. I'm like, what the hell? We call 4. Always call 4. Never don't call 4. They summon a Grandmaster. Whatever. They bring out some dudes. We get a draw. And the main issue here is that they have Road, so we kind of just play into it. I think maybe I shouldn't have set the Treacherous here. Possibly. Because it means we have to use it to get our Gores live, and then their board is no longer clogged, which means if they top deck a Zanji, they can actually out our Gores wall. Whereas if they don't ever, even if they do draw Zanji, if I leave their board clogged, they can just never out the Gores, or like a hand of the 6 Samurai or something. So, I mean, we're just completely relying on this Gores to wall them for the entire game, essentially, till we draw something good that can actually deal with this full field. We summon Sphere, get Sangan to try and go for some kind of slow-moving quick draw play here where we set it, and then they kill it with Iroh, hopefully. And that's what's going to happen. So we get the quick draw. Now we can finally potentially go for Drill Warrior here. They decide to out the Sphere, which they should have done last turn. And then now we're going to go Quick draw dandy, make drill. They make a really weird misplay here where they don't bottomless the drill, and bottomless ends up getting used later on something. We're going to go for that recurring nightmare, add back Orichalcos, Shuneros, and the Sphere of Chaos, and I make a mistake. I should have set the Raikou because we would have died to his Zanji top deck. Fortunately for us, we got kind of lucky, and our misplays didn't end up killing us. Now they finally draw hand, just like one turn too late. Drill comes back, but now we have Battle Fader on our hand, so we feel pretty safe to do whatever we want with impunity. Even if they out this drill, we can just make another one. And this drill actually eats the bottomless trap hole, but that's okay because we're still just chilling behind this Gorz, the Emissary of Darkness, that has been walling them for the entire game. We decide to bring back Quick Draw again, make another level 6, have the drill, and that should be lethal damage, hitting in direct for 12, hitting over the Camon for 12, and hitting over the Iroh for 8. That is 32, and they're on 28 life, so we're going to be able to pull out the W in that one. Gorz was just such an MVP with his big 25 defense points there. Definitely should not have set that Treacherous and outed that Stardust, though. I think that was a big throw. We just kind of got lucky. Here we're going to activate Charge, and I decide to slam Heavy again. Just like, no way they'll have it twice, you know? It'll never happen twice, and it doesn't happen twice. So now we go Gear Frame, hit over the Yaichi, set the Dust Tornado, pass the turn. They set 2. Now they have the Starlight Road, 1 turn too late again. We decide to set Raikou instead of Sangam because we figure as the game goes longer, the chances of them finding Iroh plus Grandmaster increase, which means we're best just resolving this Raikou ASAP, which tends to be the case. We're going to Raikou one of the back row, and then I believe I hit a Machina Fortress off the Raikou, which means now we can just go for game. You know what? I think I actually cheat here. Don't I, like, Tribute Token? Yeah, that shouldn't have worked. Wow, how did I... That's so dumb. Well, we should have just summoned... Yeah, I don't... Should have just Tribute over this, done 5,000 maybe. We were winning this game anyway, but... God, I can't believe I did that. I summoned the tokens that turn and tributed them. Okay. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. On to the next one. This one was against Morphtronics, I think. Yeah, people just play whack stuff in unrated these days, I guess. That's how it be on Dueling Book, although it's kind of how it's always been. We go Summon Gear Frame. It's basically the only play we have. I decided to pro set the Storm. I think, it worked out pretty well, so yeah, definitely vindicated there. We just go all in here. We make Drill Warrior, Summon Fortress, and that's like 72 damage. Level Eater, man, that card's pretty crazy. We pitch to banish the drill, equip, and the opponent just doesn't have anything, so we're going to be winning that one. Going on to a very quick game number 2. Game number 2, our opponent starts setting. I decide we want to resolve this Sangan to get a Dandelion, so we put it out there with the Torrential Tribute behind it. Fortunately, the opponent plays into it. We Torrential, we add the Dandelion as was planned. And now we're going to go try to bait out that back row with Gear Frame into Fortress. It was a bottomless that gets used on the Fortress, which means now we can just make our drill with impunity, attack for 42, pitch that Level Eater, and we still got a Brain Control in our hand, so we're feeling pretty good. Opponent goes for a Remoten, activates Instant Fusion. Here they maybe should have made Thought Ruler, although they might not have that in their extra deck. I don't know what the Morphtronic extra deck looks like. Either way, we're just going to slam Brain Control at this point and win the game. So that was the match against the Morphtronic player. Very quick 2-0 there for the Recurring Nightmare Quick Draw deck. So hope you guys enjoyed these matches. Recurring Nightmare has been one of my favorite copes for a while. I'm going to try to work with it a little bit more. As I said, we've got that other build potentially looming on the horizon, so look out for that. And be sure to tune into the stream tomorrow for the WCQ. All right, that's all I got for you today. See you in the next one. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Furthermore, if you enjoy my content, you should think about becoming a channel member. You get access to tons of bonus content, and it's a great way to help support the channel.